Word. Okay. What's up, Kenaton, Hazel, Bobby, Short Weekly, Brayden, uh, Puglio? I think? I don't remember. A lot of people joining quickly. Yeah, this section's been taking forever, but I'm not surprised because of the holidays that happened during this project. It's probably gonna take close to 3 months for this section just because of what's up, let's go with Baggins. Makes it easier. I usually try to keep it down to like 2 syllables for names, just to make it easier on myself. And so if the text is going quick, I get used to just shortening people's names. What's up, Avery? Nice. I didn't realize how rare this version actually was, I'm not gonna lie. Also, there's also apparently a way I can actually transfer this to Java. It's kind of convoluted, but it makes a lot of sense when you break it down. So I may actually be able to have this world on Java. Not like just the world on, like just the scaling, as in like the world size itself, as in like 1-to-1 type of scaling, but it's more of it pretty much just kind of pretty much just plops this world onto an infinite world or a insane Java world. What's up, Santiago? What's up, hi man? So there's I don't know if you guys know about this, but something big is about to happen in the community very soon. When I say very soon, I don't mean this project. I mean another person's doing a giant project. And they're gonna finish within like a couple of weeks. I would say maybe like 2 weeks, depending on how much time they actually have, but I would say up to a month, 2 weeks up to a month. If not even earlier, because they're making insane progress, I'm not gonna lie, but it's pretty much a guy who's walking to the world border. What's up, Wandering Penguin? And I'm pretty sure he said that Ant Venom was making a video on it, on the project, so that's pretty sick. It's also gonna include all the other journeys, like Kilo going to the Farlands, and I think probably the other Victors that went to the Farlands. I think there was only one other Victor. If I remember correctly, I don't think a second person actually finished. Or, I mean, sorry, third person. I know there's another person walking as well. Farlands. I don't entirely see the incentive of walking to the Farlands at the moment, but, I mean, I can definitely, I guess it's more for, like, just the experience of being able to go there. I don't know. Billions of blocks, oh god. Oh yeah, with the TNT dupers or whatever. I think it'd be kind of crazy. I think even with TNT dupers, I think mining a large world would be still pretty insane. I couldn't even imagine mining, I forgot how many billions of blocks. Even with TNT duping, I think it'd still be an insane task to do. Like, this is like, that is like, I wouldn't say the equivalent. I don't know about that one, because I have no clue how long it takes to actually get rid of sections with TNT duping or world eaters at all, but I know it seems pretty insane considering I think the largest hole in Minecraft using TNT dupers is like a 5,000 by 100 or whatever. Don't remember. What's up, Smith? I think if you're very diligent, it'd probably take around 2 months. That's still a long time, though. I mean, I think SickRPG did a 1,000 by 1,000. They said it took like, or not they, but somebody else mentioned it took like the entire year or something like that. Which I don't know if that's true or not at all, but if that's the case, then, this is, more insane than I thought it was. Especially when you're comparing it to SickRPG, which is really it's kind of a funny comparison. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of an odd comparison. But it's an understandable one. Even though you shouldn't compare it, because it's like, it's completely different reasons for doing it. So yeah, I'm not too sure how long it takes to destroy areas with... I think it really does depend on how many players you have in the world too. Yeah, so that's gonna be the... and there's a lot of lava in this world, so... can't even imagine. There's also World Eater you could use as well, which are technically the more powerful version. It's basically TNT duping, but with a little slime pusher or whatever. But the problem with that is you also have to... I think you have to mine the edges. I'm not too sure about this one, but you may have to mine the edges of wherever you're destroying, so just extra work. I think. I don't know if that's a mandatory thing, but if it is, then that makes it way harder to do. If you have to do that, then I would think a large world is impossible. Oh, not impossible, but my god, pretty much feasibly impossible. I switch it just to get rid of dirt. I mean, there are some times where I switch without actually thinking about it, and I don't actually have to switch. Oh god, no. Please don't. Don't, do a large roll with pickaxes. Holy Jesus. I could maybe see a small world, but that's the minimum. That's the highest I would go in terms of feasibility. And if you go up to a medium, good luck with that one. Then that would be absolutely absurd. So yeah, it's pretty much the guy, my god, I cannot speak. The guy who's, walking to the world border, his name is Fig, YouTube. Just look up Fig Cornerlands, because he's the person who walked to the Cornerlands. Just look up Fig Cornerlands, you'll find him. It's kind of a hard name to pinpoint, but if you look up Fig, there's literally a channel that has Photoshop of, or has a picture of a fig. That's not him. But just look at Fig Cornerlands and you'll find it. I've been questioning that since I first started this, of why there's so many wandering traders and llamas just scattered everywhere sometimes. It's not a bad idea, actually, is mining the nether. That's starting it. The only reason I'm doing it this way is just for it's fitting for this project to go in order from the overworld, nether, and end. I'm not gonna lie, I actually didn't have original intentions of mining the nether in the end. At least not at the first part. I thought about it for like a second, but I didn't really like implement it like as a plan until later on. Yeah, like that. I accidentally switched without thinking about it. I don't know why I do that, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's like this certain like tempo that I have in my head about like when I get to dirt or gravel. It sounds really weird, I'm not gonna lie, but when you mine this much, you'll understand what I'm talking about, maybe. It could just be my paranoia though, but I have no idea. So, I'm not too sure about that. I'm questioning if I should just mine the end cities or not. Or just mine the end island and then leave the end cities. Because here's the problem, is that if I mine the... How do I get back with the, if I mine either one of those? Because if I mine one of them, then I have to somehow get back with... I guess I could build a bridge to the end cities or whatever. Like the end city, the gateway. End gateway. I have died a few times on accident and or it's mainly in lava, I'm not gonna lie. Or I usually take a ton of damage. Usually I think the most of the times I die, two ways is that I either drown in lava pretty much, because there's no way I can escape that, or I fall off the edge without my armor, which hasn't happened in a long time, but those are probably the two main ways. What am I doing? I always go over there every single time, thinking that I'm gonna have to go and put up my stuff, but all I have to do is this. This is also gonna be kind of a short stream, I'm not gonna lie. Because I do have work pretty soon, but tomorrow and, well, just the next 3 days, I have pretty much nothing to do that I know of. And, I have pretty much all the day in the world to stream, at least for the next 3 days. Somehow I always have something to do, which is annoying, but yes, it will be. I think the only strategy I can think about for XP is either go in the nether and do a farm, or I'm gonna have to figure out and I may just have to get a ton of emeralds and just take advantage of getting thousands of emeralds and just make as many pickaxes as possible. That's the only strategy I can think about. Make so many pickaxes to the point where I don't even have to worry about repairing these shovels or whatever, honestly. Even though I don't even need shovels, I don't know why I made this statement, but pickaxes. That's actually the good thing, I don't have to worry about shovels, which is interesting. I literally never have to worry about them. Even though, to be fair, on this project I never really had to worry about them except for getting rid of deserts, to be honest here. Like, deserts and grasslands. Mainly deserts, though, because I have a lot of desert in this world, thank God, too. I'd be screwed in the nether if I didn't have this many deserts. I'd actually be screwed. It's actually very lucky. I mean, this seed is unlucky, but very unlucky at the same time. But not as unlucky as people would think. Yeah, that wall right there is the border. I can't go past it because it's literally just water with nothing and I can't even break anything, so. Not gonna lie, it's really weird going full circle, back to the beginning of the base, beginning of the world, where it used to be. It's really odd. Really odd. Spending several years, like 2 or 3 years on the other side of the world and finally coming back to the beginning of it. I thought about a default mob grinder. I thought about that. That's something that has been on my mind for a while. They give a lot of XP on the console edition. So pretty much the water is, I get rid of it using sponges and sand columns. It's kind of hard to explain. I think a better way of doing it is watching the time lapse that I have. I do have a time lapse, for one of these sections. It's like 200 hours or something like that. If you want to watch that to see the entire process. It's kind of hard to see, but I didn't really have much of an option. This PS4, and that's probably the best I could do in terms of quality for PS4. I really couldn't think of any other way of doing that. I've done a blaze farm. They're decent, I would say. But I'm not too sure about that. I think it's still faster for me to get all the emeralds and villagers. Because the thing is, I think I can just reset the trades by going into the nether and then exiting. I'm not kidding either. I don't know about that one for sure, but I'll look into it. I've gotten, you can get, it's actually kind of, I'm a little bit surprised at how fast you can get pickaxes. Thing is though, okay, the thing is with the blaze farm though, is that I'm already done with the, like with the nether, so I can optimize nether farms as well in that version, or in the nether, once I finish it. So I don't think it matters too much which mob farm I get, to be honest, but it still takes forever to actually repair pickaxes. So I think it's actually faster for me to just get all the pickaxes at once. It takes a long time to actually repair pickaxes with even a farm. So I may just brute force it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still need like 100 pickaxes, but 100 pickaxes isn't as much as you would think. Especially since I can just brute force it. And if I need XP to get all to make the pickaxes, I can literally just go to the end, get 60 levels. Like after I finish the nether, that's probably what I would do. What's up, Demon Ritos? Well, the only reason we're mentioning farms is because it's for the end. Because it's like, I can't reset the end if I'm mining the end. Well, I mean, I can, but that wouldn't do anything. That wouldn't make any sense to even do. So we're just trying to figure out an alternative. Yeah, this is how I repair pickaxes. Sometimes I can get really lucky like that, but sometimes I can get really unlucky with dragon. I don't know why I did that. I've used wicked health. But that's probably why. I technically could, but they're not that good. I've done an Enderman farm and a Blaze farm. They're really not that good for repairing. I've used farms for repairing. I'm telling you, they're not as good as you think. It takes a lot to repair these pickaxes. Ask Sword King on that one. Ask Sword King how long it takes to repair these pickaxes. Especially since he has to repair like 50 pickaxes through an XP farm. It takes like hours. Hours. Yeah, I've done Java XP farms. I've done the Enderman farm. I definitely know how insane they are compared to console. And it's a fair comparison because I have absolutely maximum spawns on console and Java. I've done both. I've actually done an XP farm on this version, and a max XP farm as well. I slabbed my entire end. Which actually didn't take that long, but I slabbed my entire end. And it still was kind of mediocre. I mean, that's the only option Sword has, so it's like I can't really... It's just a nice little like way of showing how bad XP farms are on console. I've even repaired pickaxes, like a full pickaxe, like a full netherite pickaxe on Java before, and let me just tell you, it doesn't take that long. It only takes like maybe less than a minute. I'd say like 30 to 45 seconds to repair an entire pickaxe on Java. This version, it literally takes like 30 minutes, if not maybe more. I don't remember honestly how long it actually took. I know it takes forever though. I don't know. They may be roughly the same, honestly. You know, honestly, they should have kept the versions different. I don't understand. Like, I understand crossplay, but I think the execution of what they did for crossplay just, I think it kind of just flopped. I think the way, like, the fact that it's just not that great of an idea to crossplay a smartphone, especially lower end smartphones, and consoles, or PCs, because let's be honest here, PCs are generally going to be way more powerful, I'd say on average, than a smartphone. I mean, unless you get super high-end ones, but you can also get super high-end PCs as well, so. I think if, like, I think the fact that, at least consoles, I can understand, like, maybe cross-playing with consoles, like a PC and console, because at least consoles are reasonably powerful, consistent, because it's, like, the same console, and the same performance every single time. But allowing like really cheap phones and stuff like that, and having to reduce the spawn rate and stuff like that just for like lower end, having to cater for lower end devices when you have people with super powerful PCs, it seems kind of ridiculous, honestly. I think the concept just doesn't really work in reality. Yeah, they did it because they didn't have to update several versions of the game. But at the same time, it still didn't really work that well, or it still really doesn't work that well, especially when you have two very buggy versions, which I think were the Switch, and I don't know how buggy the console is, but I know the performance really isn't that good. I would definitely have to agree as well that Java's the best version, just in general usage for sure. It's a little bit of a difficult thing to get into. It's like it has a little bit of a curve to it in terms of trying to get into it. But I would say generally speaking, it still makes a like I'd say the features and stuff like that, the flexibility, yeah, just mainly the features makes up for that little curve that it has versus Bedrock. Because I mean, Bedrock is made for the easing into it pretty much. It just it just isn't that great of a version. I don't see any reason that Bedrock, besides the crossplay, but that's like the only thing that even Bedrock has over Java. But I mean, that's still the crossplay in itself doesn't entirely make up for it, to be honest. It's like the one feature they actually like were trying to implement, they still didn't implement it properly. Because why would you? It's just what I was mentioning earlier with the like the different types of devices. It's just really hard to execute, like make something work, like cross-playing um, different types of devices, like multiple types of devices, not even like two types, like several types. And having to cater to lower end devices just you're spreading it too thin. Like I know it's supposed to be like a more of a casual version, even though it's technically like the hardest version, let's be honest. It's probably the hardest version in the game, or the hardest version of the game's versions. I'd say Legacy is the easiest. Legacy is probably the easiest, and then you have Java, and then Bedrock. Especially now, I would say. What's up, Foot? I mean, don't get me wrong. I've played Bedrock for like a weekend, like utilizing all of its features and stuff like that, or at least a good amount of it. And it was kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie, but this was the PC version, which the Windows 10 edition, let's be honest, is probably the best of the Bedrock versions. But, probably, maybe. Purely because of performance reasons. But other than that, I'd still say Java's better, just in terms of like, even looks, in my opinion, I find the Java similar to the Legacy looks are better. I know people don't like, or aren't used to the dull colors of this version, but I think the oversaturation is a bit insane on that. I like the, it's really the lighting, to be honest, but the lighting is a bit more natural on this version, which is nice. What's up, AJ? So I may actually be able to put this version on the Windows 10 edition. I basically transfer it to the, well, first thing I have to do is change it to a small world, because that's the only way. I don't want the borders to be messed up. That's the only problem. If I transfer it over, the borders like glitch. They become super jagged, so I have to basically turn it into a small world. And then transfer it over to Bedrock, so the edges are more seamless. Which is pretty nice. And then I pretty much turn it into a realm. And that realm, then I download it, and then I have the Windows 10 on. I have this world on Windows 10 pretty much. And then if I want to, I can also switch it to Java. Because I can get a universal universal Minecraft converter, whatever. Yeah, pretty much. I pretty much dug this pit just with myself. I had a little bit of help with a friend a long time ago, back in the 1 or 2 million era. But yeah, I'm pretty much just mining the entire Legacy world, which I'm almost done, finally. Because it's kind of weird people think I'm like, there's quite a few people who still think I'm mining like a Java world for some reason. Which I don't blame them, this does look like Java, so, except for the map. What's up, the Minecraft? So pretty much, I thought about doing it because another person started it a long time ago and was going pretty slow, and I know many people wanted to see this project being done anyway. So I decided to take on the challenge, which has been pretty fun actually. Person's name is Sword King 090 operation in their Operation Bedrock series. Good luck with mining a large world, I'm just saying. So just to put in perspective, if I wanted to mine a large world, what I've mined right now, I've only would have mined 2 layers. Or when I finish this project, it's only 2 layers of a large world, so keep that one in mind. 2 layers of a large world is the equivalent to one of these worlds. So at my rate, I would have to spend 120 years on average for this project for you to mine a large world. But if you want to actually spend your entire life, you could double my speed and go like full time for 60 years. So yeah, if you want to mine an entire large world, it'll take you a full-time job of 60 years. You're spending an entire career of basically mining a world. Actually, more than a career at that point. And yes, the reason I'm only using TNT, or why I'm only using pickaxes is because, and not TNT dupers, what I'm trying to say, is because it would kind of just ruin the point of the entire end, like the origins of this project, or the integrity. I guess just try to keep the integrity of the project, which is literally just mining the world with pickaxes, keeping everything flat. That's pretty much it. Since, I mean, the basis of this project was pickaxes. Pickaxes. I mean, come on, there's literally an entire video dedicated to it, so... to destroying an entire classic world. Like, if I did it with a TNT duper, then it wouldn't do any, it wouldn't really have much of a, it wouldn't really have much of an impact, or not impact, but more like meaning compared to the original. It wouldn't really be the same project without these pickaxes, without mining it by hand, to be honest. It really wouldn't. I've broken several pickaxes by accident. I don't want to know how many pickaxes I've broken by accident. Great to see you, AJ. "25 maps? It's pretty ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought about that when I saw my pickaxe. I was like, oh, wait a minute. It doesn't happen as often as it used to, though. I've noticed it comes in waves. It's like sometimes I'm on a roll and I go through, if not over 100 pickaxes without breaking a single one, and there's sometimes where I literally break a pickaxe like almost every single time. It's really sad. Or if not, break one. I mean, I've used over, I think, at least 5,500 pickaxes. I could be nearing 6K at this point, but I don't know about that one. I've bound to break at least a couple. I know Sword King is super deliberate about his, super strict about breaking pickaxes, like really strict. Even though, to be fair, he has the old villagers, which, since his trades don't really have to worry about being reset, him making pickaxes actually isn't that hard. So I don't know why he's, like, so strict about breaking pickaxes. I mean, like, I know he can't get XP and stuff like that, like, as fast, so, I mean, I guess that's probably one of the reasons. He doesn't have to deal with his trades resetting, though. That's, like, one of the biggest flaws of this project, is the villagers. But, I mean, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, because of just the sheer amount of pickaxes. I'll consider it. Well, to be fair, normal map, there really isn't really a definitive normal map, to be honest with you. I mean, this is a level 3 map, I'm pretty sure. Oh, what am I doing wrong? Wrong, box. Wrong one. So, yeah, there's no definitive normal one, but, I mean, I know what you mean, though. You're talking about the level 4 map. I'm not going backwards for a llama. If it was, like, in front of me, that'd be different, but... Well, there is a llama in front of me somewhere. Maybe when I go back... Just let's be honest here, the thing's not gonna despawn by the time I come back anyway. thought about it, but I thought about it, but it's only front. I mean, somehow found a 2 million copy of this project. I had no clue I had a 2 million copy till recently. I think the only copies I'm missing are 3 million and 4 million. Actually, I don't think I even have a million copy. So 3 million, 4 million, 1 million, I think 28 million. Kind of weird, I know, but I think those are the only ones left that I don't have, which there's no way I'm getting them back, to be honest with you. I'll just restart and make new copies. I'll just restart the entire project. I couldn't even imagine restarting this project. I honestly, by this point, I think if I had to restart, I probably wouldn't restart. So mining assassin. What's up, Arvis? I'm not even gonna be streaming for long. I may finish a layer. I have no idea. Or I may finish another layer. I want to at least finish this half layer. At the minimum. There will be more progress tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and then after that, maybe a little bit more progress. I don't know. Friday, Saturday, and Monday, those are the days that I make some progress at least, like 2 to 3 hours maybe. 4 hours if I, you know, actually have a if I actually have some consistency, I may be able to do 4 hours, but I'd say it's close to like 2 to 3 hours most of the time. I think it's crazy how notable this project actually is. I mean, I've seen insane projects, mainly specifically the World Border and the Farlands project. They didn't actually get big until, or even have any recognition at all for it until like the very end. But I mean, considering this has been consistent for the most part through most of the I'd say at least over half the project, which is pretty crazy to think about. I'm not gonna lie. It says a lot about the project. And it may say a lot about the ending of this project too. Or see Arvis. Also, thank you as well. I mean, I technically could mine the border, but the problem is the water. That's the only problem, and it would look really awkward, let me tell you, if I mined the border. It had to clean up the water, especially on the deep oceans, which have, like, the border is literally, like, half water. That's the only problem I have with the border. If it wasn't for that, then it would be fine. It's pretty nice. Watchtowers are definitely, they definitely add up after a long time, though. I think it's crazy, though, that I think it was December 17th. I think exactly, yeah, exactly a month from now. December 17th, like, I literally got 10% of my viewer count in that one day. Compared to the last 4 years of this channel, it's kind of insane. So outside of that wall right there, that's just water. It's water and just like after, well, the problem with this is the fact that you can't interact with that water. You can only interact with the water that flows into the world, which is really annoying. I think it's kind of bad design, not gonna lie. I wish it did it like the Java border. I would actually consider, I would mine the borders, like the wall right there. I would mine it if it had like Java borders. Sadly, it's not. To be fair though, I don't think anybody at Mojang or like 4J Studios thought about somebody even mining a world anyway, to be honest with you. To be fair, I don't think anybody, well, besides Sword King, well, actually it was his friend who thought of it, but besides them, they're the only people who thought about doing this, but I don't know if they, except for Sword King, I don't know if he even knew this was gonna be done. Mainly after, I knew that, well, at least at the beginning they thought it'd be done. Well, they knew it's possible, it's just actually, something being possible and actually being done are two completely different things, let's be honest. something could be possible in the realm of people, but like, will it actually ever get done? Just like the walking to the far lands, that thing didn't get done. That thing was only 800 hours. It didn't even get touched, besides Kurt J-Mac, until Kilo started. Was that like... years or something like that? Yeah, I'm in peaceful. I'm not dealing with this project on any other mode. This project already eclipses pretty much every project in Minecraft anyway, so I'm not adding extra difficulty to, well, not every project, but like I would say, at least when I finish, this is gonna be the largest project finished, I think. I'm pretty sure. Minecraft. At least notable. I'd say it's a better way of saying it. Largest notable project in Minecraft when I finish, I think. I'd say largest, I guess notable as in like talked about, like recognized project, I would say. So yeah, I'm not adding any more to this project. I think this project already takes like 3K hours or whatever. At least. Yeah, good luck with that. Because you have to deal with food and bed. So you have to actually keep track of day and night. While keeping up with your inventory. While keeping up with pickaxes. Yes, it will be. That's why I didn't do it like that. I mean, considering mining a large was almost borderline impossible in a lifetime, already says a lot about it. About it being a nightmare. And I mean like legitimately borderline impossible, not like where it's like, oh yeah, somebody may never finish it. No, this is like, you go purely off like time and how long it takes to finish. It definitely takes more than people would think. Be a really odd thing to tell. I think it'd be actually interesting if Minecraft was still around at that point. Which I'm pretty sure it might be. Maybe. So I thought about keeping the quartz. I actually thought about keeping all the netherrack, sounds insane, but I thought about keeping the netherrack. I'm not too sure about that one yet. That one sounds like an absolute pain. Like arguably even harder to keep the blocks in the nether than the overworld. Probably isn't a good idea. Probably not. There you go, that's the half layer I didn't finish yesterday. Or, not yesterday, the day before. What's up, kill shot? Next layer. I don't see a llama anywhere. I don't know, render distance is kind of weird though. So maybe in a minute we'll see him if the render distance is might be a render distance problem, let's be honest. I mean, there's only so far, or entity render distance, more like it. I mean, even the render distance of this world actually isn't that much. I don't think I can even see half the world. Not even close. Just on the edge of the world or whatever. Imagine how short of a render distance this is for the Java edition. I think the render distance got decreased at some point, if I remember correctly. Because of 1.18. To be fair, I think an interesting thing to do for this world, convert it to a Java world and then make a survival world out of it. What I mean by that is like turn it into a base. Can you imagine turning this entire world into like an 800 by 862 by 862 area, or whatever this is, into a base? Even though this is technically not 862, because you know, weird classic world physics or world just world changes and stuff like that they used to do. They moved it up a block or something like that. I don't understand. That'd be kind of sick as a way of I mean, the walls would be kind of a pain because there'd be lava and water flowing off of them because, you know, for some reason new chunks and stuff like that spawn, and it's weird, let me tell you, what happens when you transfer it over to Bedrock. It's kind of unfortunate. I have to like cover up a bunch of lava and water areas, stuff like that, just to make it clean. I mean, I know they have, I mean, they already technically made man-made super flats. I mean, this world already is technically gonna be a man-made super flat, but people have already done that on Java and mainly just Java. Um, but I've never seen them. So I've seen them use these like areas, like these perimeters for like insane farms and stuff like that. But I've never seen anybody turn one into a base, like this big as a base, like an actual base, not like a little structure, like a little decorated perimeter I've seen, like you've seen on like different, like Hypnos, Doug, stuff like that. I've never seen it on the SMPs that they have. I've never seen anybody turn one into an actual base. Oh, you mean like actually turn it into a super flat, like like an exact copy, not an exact copy of a super flat. I think I actually have enough dirt to do that. I'll have to check it again, but maybe. I think it's gonna be really close to the amount of dirt. Maybe. That would be pretty interesting though. It's a coarse dirt trick. Never heard of it. At least that term before. Wait, how do you craft coarse dirt? Because I only have coarse dirt like naturally. I don't have that much gravel. I've kept like no gravel. I'm pretty sure I have enough dirt. I think I need around 20. I need 2,100,000 dirt, so I'll figure that one out later when I finish, if I have enough. Up, Droopy? Yeah. I've been doing this project for like 4 years. Little over 4 years. Getting there. It's gonna be a couple more months. Probably. Maybe like March. There's no way I'm finishing by February. It could be closer to April, to be honest. It just really depends on how much time I can get done. How much I get delayed constantly for this project. Thank you as well. funny. The more you upload, the higher chance people will even see your content. That's actually one of the reasons why I kept myself on YouTube, so people could see it easier than on Twitch. Like, don't get me wrong, Twitch is nice, but I don't think it's a good path for getting recognition, whatnot, from things. I mean, to be fair, the only reason I did it was for documentation's sake. The recognition and attention I've gotten from this project is kind of just a bonus. People don't really understand that. It's because they're so inclined to the fact that how can somebody possibly do something like this without any external motivation, but it's definitely possible. It takes a lot of mental isolation and just waiting. This is why they say mindset's important when it comes to doing things. It's because, like, when you go into something with a mindset, you better hope you have a good mindset getting into it. If my mindset was set on getting attention or recognition for this project, it just wouldn't work. Or it could work, it would be a lot more difficult. But considering I did it purely for the sake of the progress of the project, and for the project's sake alone, then that's pretty much the reason I was able to spend 2 years straight without any form of recognition or attention at all. I mean, I technically had my friends, but I mean, in terms of like recognition that from other people. I mean, even then, they didn't really keep up with that much, projects that much. What's up, bud? Shulsky. So I've mined 39 million maybe. I mean, if you're accounting for water, it's probably around 39 million. But if you don't account for water, which I don't even know if people account for water when it comes to mining. I've actually thought about that, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna account for water for now on, but I'd say total all blocks, it's roughly 39 million. That's at a Y level of 64. And I think 64 is actually pretty accurate because of the level of water that I have on this world. Quite a bit of water, let me tell you. Probably 39 million, maybe 40 million, maybe. I know after this layer, after this section, I'll hit the 40 million milestone, so which is pretty sick. It's a lot. I think the most I've ever seen somebody mine in a world, on a server, is what I've seen. It's 27 million. I think that's the most I've seen somebody actually legitimately mine. I don't know if that was actually with pickaxe. I think it was pickaxes, pick uses. It was 27 million or something like that, but that's the most I've seen somebody. It was on an SMP. It's called Dugged. They basically reached one. It was a pretty old video, but it was like 100 million pick uses or whatever. They could have mined more at this point, but could have just stopped using pickaxes. I don't know. I mean, I could have the most blocks mined by a single person. I'm gonna be genuinely surprised if somebody's actually mined more than I have. In a realistic way, being as realistic as possible. Kind of an extra bonus thing. You know, I don't know why I never really considered that when I first started the project about having like the most blocks mined. I never considered that when I started this project either. What's up, Diego? 8 to 10 million. 8 to 10 million is pretty impressive. I'd say less than like 0.001%, if not even less. People have probably mined around 1 million blocks. That's pretty crazy. What's up, Patrick's? So thank you as well. Yeah, I think 27 million is the most I've seen. I mean, to be fair, at this point, I think if you account for like above layers, I probably have hit 50 million by this point. But I count 50 million. I count only 64 below because it's average. So my average amount of blocks, if you account for water, is like 39 to 40 million. That's average. Because that's not counting anything above layer 64, which, to be fair, there isn't a ton of stuff above layer 64, but if you consider it, I don't really know, honestly. I have no idea, though. That would be pretty sick. Have something like that. I think IBX Twinkhead's video on mining the world, I think he said layer 60, I think he said layer 70 was the average, but I mean, considering how much water, I think 64 is more reasonable, to be fair. I don't know how to do the math on something like that, though. But, let's see. Yeah. Wait, no. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, no, I messed it up. God dang it. 52 million. I don't know. Apparently if you account for like Y levels, like Y level 70 is the average, apparently it's like 52 million. I think just because of the amount of water, I'm going with 64. There's just so much water that, but at the same time, it's also kind of weird because it's also I'm accounting for water. I'm also accounting for water as well, so. I don't know, I'll do both calculations, to be honest. I could probably do an estimate. I'll do both. I'll do water. I'll do 64 and below and 70 and below, and then I'll just estimate. So basically just 67. I'll just average out the average land and then the average water. And then I maybe even average the, oh god, that's a lot of averages. So it's basically I'm taking the average land and the average sea level, and then I'm going to average out the highest point of sea level to the lowest point of sea level, which is like 32 pretty much for deep oceans. And then I'm going to average out the 67 to, I think it's average, 62 and, or sorry, 67 and whatever the average between 64 and 32 is, it's 48. Yeah, it's 48. So it's 48, the average between 48 and 67. And then that can give me a rough average of the amount of like total blocks that I've mined. Not accounting for water. But I could go to Y level 70 accounting for water. I don't know, something like that. I'll figure that out at some point. And then I can average out the highest, the water total and the the accounting for water and the non-accounting for water. So if you can average out those two numbers, then you have probably the closest calculations to the amount of blocks I've mined. Well, sort of. It's like, I don't really know, honestly, what's gonna work. I'll just do an average of water and no water. Unfortunately, I can't really use 862 by 862, but it's a technical calculation. If I want to be as technical as possible, I really can't do that. Because it's like an 862 by 860 or something like that. And then you decrease it again by 1 block because I didn't mind the border. Which makes it confusing. Thank you, Shulsky, for the $4.50 donation. It's much appreciated. Also, that scared me so badly, I'm not gonna lie. I was definitely not expecting that. Holy Jesus. I'll have to do the calculations, though, of, Thank you, Shulsky. It's much appreciated. I have to do the calculations at some point on, my averages. Yeah, I'm gonna have to end the stream pretty early. Earlier than I thought I would. Not right now, but just trying to look at how much time I have compared to how much of this layer is done, but there's no way I'm finishing this. This layer. Don't think it's possible, because there's no way I can speed this up. I mean, I don't think 2 layers is any faster either. I've noticed. I've done 2 layers before. That I know of, it doesn't seem any faster, and progression's a bit hard, a little bit harder to actually manage. So I'm not gonna lie, when there's like a dirt and gravel, or not dirt and gravel, like when, yeah, well, gravel's also kind of a problem, but dirt and stone are next to each other, I have to go like up and down and like switch. I can't really see it ahead of time, which is annoying. Like this dirt right here. Gravel falls down, which slows progress quite a bit. Over time, at least. It's more of an overtime thing. People think a bit too short term when it comes to these methods of doing things. They also don't consider the limitations on console as well. I guess the only good thing about console is you can keep it consistent, like keep your moving up and down consistent like this. You can keep it stationary, you don't have to worry about touching it that much. Unlike Java. Or just using a mouse in general. Even though that's also a good thing on Java too, because there's different ways of mining. Easier ways of mining. Like 3 layers or whatever. I just can't move as quick. Like I think my theoretical fastest is like, at least for walking speed, theoretical fastest is 10. That doesn't happen very often. Like this is probably as fast as I can go, but the problem is that I just can't hold that speed forever. Especially when something like that happens, it just reduces my average quite significantly. Quite significantly, actually. Or I mess up like that as well. 2x2, yeah, that's understandable. I think at 3x3, I think realistically though, a 2 layers fastest on Java, maybe. I have no idea. It's like, I know Mumbo Jumbo had a video on like the fastest way to mine, but that was not an accurate way of deciding on what's the fastest because of, you know, there's more than just stone in a world. I don't understand I understand the point of the experiment, but it also kind of just doesn't work that well. If you did a more realistic scenario, then I might be more inclined to believe, but it's just, people don't really consider that, how realistic something needs to be. It's like, sure, you can have your experiment, but it doesn't really reflect how realistic it is. Because realism has a lot to do with experimenting, but so if you don't have any real realism, it doesn't make the experiment kind of just flops. Yeah, you can have all the testing you want, but it just doesn't reflect the results of the real world, or like the real practice of actually, or the real putting into practice, I guess, of using mining methods. Maybe I'll end it after the halfway mark. That's probably when I'll end it. So like, I'm pretty much getting a layer done today. Somewhere on there. Which I don't mind, honestly. A whole layer is pretty decent progress. A layer is fine. I used to only do a layer a day because I was working on other things. It was like one layer and I just stopped. I did like 2-hour streams or whatever. Actually figure out what my average is. About 6 blocks. 6 blocks, somewhere around there. That's my average. To be fair, that's like full speed though. Holy Jesus. That's like almost, that's pretty much almost full speed on average. Going 6 blocks per second. It's like almost non-stop. Because I do around 21,550 blocks per hour, and that equals around 5.9. Mouse and keyboard, that's understandable. I get around 6 with the controller. Shows how limited it is as well. I'm not saying this probably isn't the fastest method out there, but I mean, there's only so much I can do without reducing my time in certain areas. Six blocks per second. What's up, Gabe? My left button on my mouse moved. Hour 2,220. It's understandable. It's still over 2,000 hours, even minimum. I think apparently going full speed with this project, it's like 2,200 hours. That's at full speed, maximum, non-stop. It's an absolute maximum though. Still over 2,000 hours. I'd argue if you account for breaks and everything like that, it's at least 3,000. Honestly, I think if you consider everything,
all the breaks, mining the ore that I have, stuff like that. Pretty much remining it. And then it's also assuming that everything is at layer 64, and that's also assuming that every block is stone as well, on my calculations. It's definitely more than that for sure. Up by juice. Also thank you as well. Keep trying. I don't have too much left. Thank God. I think I only have like maybe like 2 months left, somewhere around there. usually less than one a day, I'd say on average. I used to get like almost one a day a long time ago, but that was when this channel was really popping off. It's actually pretty rare I even get a donation, at least at this point. That may change in the future, but at least for right now. about to end the stream really soon, so I'm gonna mention that real fast. A couple minutes, really soon. I should have more time tomorrow, though, I would think. To finish whatever. What, 19? Yeah, 19 layers left. Don't think I'll finish it this week, but it technically is possible. Honestly, I mentioned how I'm not gonna sacrifice much, like, from this project, but honestly, I think at the end I'll do that, like, I'll go for the final push for the finish. Not right now, but maybe in the future. About 9, no. Wrong percentage. 80 something. It's really hard to calculate this project, not gonna lie. There's no actual, like, statistic that I actually can go based off of. I can't directly divide it, sort of. I kinda can, but 83? 84%? Maybe? I know at least by the end of this section, I would have mined around, I think 87. No, I think I'm actually close to 85%. Yeah, it's pretty close to like 85, 86 maybe, somewhere around there. I keep lowballing it every single time I calculate this stuff, but I know last section was 81%, this one's 6% more, so it's like 87 when I finish this, so I'll have less than like 13%, or I'll have less than 15%. I'm about to finish the stream anyway. I'm about to finish it right now. I just looked at the I looked at the X coordinates, and I try to do like half the layer, if I have to, so. What's up, not a beast? Yeah, the Minecraft map is very cursed, not gonna lie. Wait till the final section, it'll look really cursed. Kind of a bad time to join. I won't say a bad time, it's just not a good time to join, because I'm gonna be ending the stream now. There's no way I'm finishing. no way I'm finishing this layer by the time I have to leave. I will... No, you're good. This is bad timing. But tomorrow I'll be streaming though. Actually the next 3 days. So pretty much all day as well. So if you aren't busy for the next 3 days, there's a very good chance you can probably see the stream. Yeah. So yeah, so to anybody who just joined, I will be streaming, probably, hopefully streaming the next 3 days. I'm gonna be surprised if I don't even stream the next 3 days. When I say all day, I mean literally all day, so. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.